Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only.
Alright, let's see the next one. Leviathan 2. Okay, SSH, Leviathan 2. And the password. Paste. Clear ls -l. Okay, this is the same as previous one, but this is a lot more trickier than that. So try to pay attention. So this has the same permissions as before. Okay, this has executable permissions, but it executes as Leviathan 3. Okay, so let's try to use print file, and it's saying usage print file and file name. Okay, let's try to give print file, and let's try to give etc Leviathan pass Leviathan 3. Okay, saying you can have that file. Okay, let me try Leviathan 2. Okay, as you can see here, it has some problem with Leviathan 2 as well. Since print file is executing as Leviathan 3, it also does not give permissions to access this file. Let's try to use the same ltrace command that we used before. Okay, same ltrace. Let's see what happens with Leviathan 3 first. Okay, as you can see, it is the same thing. The library uses libstart, and then it's going to this function. Okay, access function. Okay, it's trying to go through this function, and if it is Leviathan 3, it is throwing some error. Okay, and then no further code is executed. Okay, so we don't know what that code is. Let's try to change the file name. Okay, let's try to change it to Leviathan 2 now. Okay, let's see what happens. Since we use Leviathan 2 and we do have permissions, because we are using ltrace, we are not using print file here, we are using ltrace command, so we do have permissions. So this access function has been bypassed. Okay, and then bin cat is been executed. Okay, cat command is executed here. It is also checking for user permissions. Okay, user IDs. So both are Leviathan 2 IDs. Okay, so Leviathan 2 ID. So Leviathan 2 can access this Leviathan 2 file. Okay, this file. Okay, so it gave the password here. Okay, so in order to bypass this access function, we need to do something tricky here. Okay, let's try to create a temp directory, mktemp-d. Okay, just in case, to avoid errors, give full permissions to this chmod. Okay, 777. You can try without this line. Okay, this command, that also should work. Okay, let's try to cd into that. Okay, let's try to create a file. Okay, echo something. Okay, and send it to some file. Okay, ls, you'll see that file, cat that file. Okay, it is working. Okay, let's try to use the print file command to execute this file. Okay, it is working. So why is this working? Let me see ls-l. I'll show you. Since it has read-write permissions, okay, read permissions for other. Okay, so others can read this file. Okay, so you can see what content is there using this read permissions for other. So let's try to remove chmod. Okay, others, removing permissions for others. Okay, file, and let's try to use the same command as we did before. Looks like Leviathan 3 is also part of Leviathan 2. Let's try to remove group permissions as well. Okay, Let's try to execute this. All right. It's not working. So what do we get till now? Okay, this print file and file name is already been checked with the access function, which is here. Okay, so it should no way be replaced with Leviathan 3 path. Okay, this one. If it is this, then it's going to throw some error. Okay, and the second thing we notice is that it is using cat command. Okay, so we know that we can give cat command multiple files like this. Okay, cat file 1, file 2, like that. Okay, and if you try to use it as a single file name, okay, and if the cat command has a single file, you need to mention it like this. If you're not mentioning like this, it's gonna take it as 2 different files. So we are going to use this feature to bypass the access function and then try to get the password. Okay, with these things in mind, let's go. Let me create a shortcut file. Okay, since I'm in this directory, okay, let's remove this file. Oops, remove this file. Okay, and let me try to use create a shortcut file of that Leviathan 3. Okay, ln-s, okay, and /etc/Leviathan pass Leviathan 3. Let's say the file name is shortcut itself. Okay, so if you try to ls-l, you will see that this shortcut file is been created and it is pointing to this Leviathan 3. And you also need to create another file, okay, which doesn't need to have any permissions, okay, like short cut and some extra content. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm going to create a file with file name this. Okay, this is the file name, and if you try to ls-l here, you see 2 files, okay, this one and this one, and this has some extra content. So if you try to use cat with this whole thing, okay, something like this, the cat command is going to treat it individually, like there is a shortcut file and there is file. Okay, we need to create this extra file, okay, because we want to bypass the access file. Okay, if the file does not exist, it's gonna throw error. Okay, if the file exists like this, so it's gonna check with the access function, and then if the access function is bypassed, and then the cat command will execute like this, and we will get our password. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Okay, let me check if the access function is bypassed. Okay, ltrace, and with the print file I'm giving this shortcut file. Okay, try to understand here. I'm giving this print file the input as this file. Okay, I'm giving you this file. Okay, I'm giving this file. I'm not giving this file. Okay, I'm not giving this shortcut file. I'm giving this file. Okay, and this file will check if we can bypass this access function which is here. Okay, this function we need to bypass, and then we'll talk about this shortcut file. Okay, let's see. As you can see, it has checked the shortcut file and it does not belong to this Leviathan 3, so it bypassed this, and it's checking for user IDs and it is Leviathan 2, so it does not have permissions to execute. So since this file executes as Leviathan 3, so it does not have permissions. Okay, so let's try to execute with the same thing. So in this case, what happens is So this file will take inputs as this file to bypass the access function, and after the access function is bypassed, so it's gonna check like this, the shortcut file permission denied, and the file, okay, no such file or directory, it does not have a file, okay, this does not exist and this exists, okay. So this shortcut file is divided into two different files, okay, one is shortcut and one is file, okay. The both are trying to execute the cat command, okay. In this case, this shortcut will point to the Leviathan 3, okay. We do not have permissions for Leviathan 3 here since we are using ltrace, but if you are using print file, you will have the permissions to execute this shortcut file, okay. If you try to execute this, you will get the password, okay. This shortcut is pointing to Leviathan 3. In the place of shortcut, Leviathan 3 is been replaced, and then the file is giving our password. I hope you get it. I'll just summarize what happened now. I created two files, okay. One is just a file, empty file, okay. Another one is shortcut link, okay. This sim link is pointing to Leviathan 3 file, okay, the one which has the password. To bypass the access function, we are using this file as an input to the print file. Once the access function is bypassed, so the cat command will treat the shortcut file as two different files, okay, and then the shortcut will execute and it will give our password, and then file will execute and it will say no such file or directory. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.